Hey guys, so I jumped in for some more summons on this banner, and these are pre-recorded and sped up so that doesn't take forever, and I don't have to sit here for 30 minutes watching all these summons, but I just wanted to basically pull more copies of this Goku, the green Super Saiyan Goku, because I had only pulled, up until this point, 2 copies from this banner. And if you guys were there for the stream, you guys know how many copies of Turles I pulled, so I kind of wanted to get the Goku more start up a little bit. Because I actually really do enjoy using the Goku, and I think he's designed in a cool way. Well, you guys will see what happens throughout this video. I'm not going to go too into it. You guys can just see for yourself. So while the summons are going off in the background, this channel is pretty much 99% based around the PvP aspect of Legends when I do Legends content. So I figured we could change things up a little bit this time, and we could sort of discuss the PvE side of the game a little bit here. Now, what's interesting about PvE is that I would say, believe it or not, most people do not play PvP. Most Legends players actually do not play PvP, as their main focus, and they're playing the game mostly for the PvE events and content. So we always talk about ways to improve PvP, here on the podcast, on Twitter, stuff like that. That's mostly what the focus has been on, the competitive side of the game. But in reality, it's probably just as, if not more important, that they improve the PvP experience. And I say that from the standpoint of the health of the game. Because if the PvE content is not really enjoyable, it's not up to snuff, then I think a lot of the player base is just going to have a negative attitude towards the game. Because when there's not, anything new going on in PvP, that's fine. Most people just, okay, well, let's just see what they have in PvE. But when PvE is also not, enjoyable or fun, or there's not content to enjoy, then at that point the game just sort of becomes a log in and log out sort of scenario where you're logging in for the login bonus, you're doing your dailies, and then that's it, you're just done. So I think in that regard, it's actually very important that they focus as well, as much as PvP, we hope that they do, on PvE as well. So there are obviously multiple different aspects of PvE in this game. And I do kind of think that co-op does count as PvE, because it's kind of like, it's PvE is player versus environment, and it's kind of, player and player versus environment, sort of. But it's not really PvE in the traditional aspect of, it's you versus the computer. So there's multiple different modes this game has for PvE. Obviously, co-op, Ultra Space Time Rush, 50 stage events. What else? We got Challenge Rush. Events from the original story, like the story events. We have like the BRS event, stuff like that. And then we have just the story mode itself, which is obviously based around Shallot. Maybe I'm forgetting stuff. Let me know in the comments if I'm forgetting anything. But I think at this point it's pretty apparent that most people watching this video or who are engaged with the PvP side of the game are pretty disappointed with the PvE content this game has to offer. So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on exactly how Legends can improve this aspect of the game. Because we sort of talked about this a little bit in the podcast last night, recording this video on Sunday, August 2nd. But people were like, oh, how can Legends improve PvE? And I don't know. I had a hard time coming up with an answer for that question. And the reasoning why it was difficult to come up with the answer for that question is because I feel like there's 2 main problems with the PvE side of this game. The first problem is that most of the time, because skip tickets exist, and skip tickets are such a big part of how the farming in this game is done, they have to sort of balance the farming around using skip tickets constantly. So for example, the Nappa event is on right now, the Young Nappa event. How do you get them to 14 stars? Well, you have to just completely just play around, constantly skip ticket through that stage that drops the Z power. So if you were to play that stage normally without the skip tickets, think about how long that would take. Because you use 10 skip tickets, and that's 10 times the event you're playing through, but it takes 2 seconds as opposed to, maybe potentially like 10 minutes if you're using 10 energy and playing through the event. It takes like 2 seconds to complete the event because they go through the menus and retry and stuff like that. So I don't know if I would really classify that as fun. Either way, right? Playing through the event or skip ticketing the event, because either way it's just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But in my opinion, skip ticketing through stuff and just like using a bunch of resources is not really engaging or exciting or fun at all. For example, again, the Napa event, like I was farming it up a little bit yesterday, and I was literally just, it took me like 30 minutes of just menus and skip tickets to get through that. So it's not really fun at all. You're just doing it to accomplish a goal. You're doing it for the rewards. You're doing it for the missions. There's reasons you're doing it, but fun, in my opinion, is not one of those reasons. So I think that is the first problem with PvE in Legends. The second problem is you're talking about like difficult modes, like not even Ultra Space Time Rush, but those 50 stage events. Like I know a lot of them have like the stage 51 where it's sort of like a challenge battle, and Challenge Rush as well have those higher difficulty, I guess, events. But a lot of the difficulty in those events come from the fact that either the CPU has like a very high amount of health, and you're just being limited by the timer, because the timer is like honestly a bigger obstacle to overcome than the actual opponents are most of the time. I remember there was one challenge event where like the enemy wasn't even too hard. It was just the fact that he had so much health and he had so much defense that like you couldn't even kill him before the timer ran out, and like that was the big challenge. And I don't know if that's really engaging at all. I think that's more so just like artificial difficulty. And we see a lot of artificial difficulty coming out of basically all these challenge events, like exactly when you like are in mid-range, for example, and you go for a blast attack. How often do you have it where you're in mid-range, you go for an attack, and no matter what you do, the AI just perfect vanishes you, and that's it. You pretty much just instantly lose the game. So, like, I don't know. That really annoys me, because like it doesn't really feel like you're playing against a player. And as somebody like me who's more ingrained in the PvP side of this game, if I'm playing against the AI and the AI is able to perfectly counter all of my actions, then to me that's not rewarding at all. Even if I'm able to win, I know that like not beating a player, like it doesn't really have merit to it, and it's just like, okay, well, you have enough stars in your units, you try enough times, and eventually, yeah, you're going to be able to beat the AI. But it's a different form of satisfaction, I guess, beating a player as beating an AI. And there's no way they're going to ever circumvent that problem, I don't think. I think that's the problem that's just ingrained in the natural, I guess, progression of what it means to play a PvP game, because there's going to be a PvE and a PvP side to this game at all times. There's never going to be like a time where they're like, okay, yeah, PvP's not working out, so we're just going to scrap it. No, it's ingrained in the game. But I think, for me personally, I'm okay with PvE being a little bit lackluster, because I know PvP is going to be there to, sort of satiate my appetite for a competitive side to this game. But a lot of players are disappointed in the PvE side of this game. So you guys can let me know down below, how would you guys fix the problem of the dissatisfaction that you have when playing versus an AI? Because again, like I just said earlier, like having them completely counter everything you do. Like if you there are scenarios where you literally click any arts card. It can be a strike card, a blast card, anything. And the second you click it, they Rising Rush you, and there's no way around it. It's like instantly countering everything you do. They perfect vanish you. They, I don't know, perfectly use a green card with black armor to counter whatever you're doing. And there's so many instances of that part of it doesn't feel good at all to play against. And I think that's the biggest problem with PvE in this game. But that and the skip tickets thing, I think combined, those are the two biggest problems. So again, I do think it is important that they focus on improving PvE as well as PvP, because they're both just as important to each other, if not PvE is a little bit more important than PvP is. But again, yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about these suggestions. Well, I don't really have any suggestions because I don't know how they would fix it. I guess make the AI worse, but that wouldn't make it any more fun. That would just make it like that would just allow you to clear it faster and never worry about it again. Like, I don't know, how would you make PvE more fun? Now, obviously, the raid event that we had was really good. I think that was probably the most fun I ever had playing PvE in this game. That raid event that we had during the first part of the anniversary. Obviously, they miscalculated on the timing for that, but the concept was really cool. I like the concept a lot, so that's one way they could improve it. But as a long-term solution to the events that they currently have going on right now, like the 50-stage event, Challenge Rush, Ultra Space Time Rush, which is a different story altogether. We can talk about Ultra Space Time Rush for a second as well. So Ultra Space Time Rush, obviously, I don't know a single person who actually plays through that event. Like, manually. Every single person that I talked to about it, they all just auto through it and they don't actually play it. Like for me, I auto through that at work. Like I'm working and I have my phone on a stand off to the side and I literally just have it autoing through Ultra Space Rush. Like when I can't or I don't have time to play the game, I can just auto through it and it's fine. Like it's not a bad mode because it's literally just free stuff. Like you get like, what is it, like 500 crystals for free. You get a bunch of the tickets for the banner. You get some other stuff for equipment awakening, and you don't really have to do anything manually. So I don't think it's the worst thing ever. It's just not fun. Like that's the problem. The rewards for PvE are very good. That's not debatable. I think that's just where you get most of your rewards from, PvE. But it's like that's the only reason why you're doing it. If you're forcing your player base to play a mode because of the rewards and not because they actually want to play it or because they enjoy playing it, then that's inherently a problem with the mode, right? I mean, co-op, most people don't actually enjoy playing co-op, but guess what? The rewards are really good, so that people are going to play it every day. They're going to do those 3 daily, playthroughs every day to get the rewards. The 50-stage events are very boring, but guess what? People play through it for the 1,000 crystals. And Challenge Rush as well. Challenge Rush is a different story because it is a little bit more challenging, but again, I think the artificial difficulty really hurts that mode a lot. The story mode, I think, is the only PvE mode of this game that I actually really enjoy, and that's just because of the story itself. I don't actually care for the gameplay through the stages of story mode. I just think the story mode's actually pretty well written, pretty well done, and that's why I actually enjoy playing through the story mode. But that's it. The actual gameplay is not where I'm looking to enjoy myself. Just, it's the writing of the story mode itself. But okay, that's pretty much going to do it for this one. I'm going to let you guys finish watching the rest of these summons. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below, again, what you want to see out of PvE in this game and what you think they could do to enhance the, I guess, level of enjoyment that we're going to get out of PvE in this game, because it's very important that they do that. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.